I always tell my students that reading alone is not enough. In a world where information is abundant, but truth is elusive, we are constantly navigating a flood of narratives, opinions, and interpretations. Exposure isn't understanding. Real comprehension requires critical engagement, not just passive consumption. The key question isn't just whether we're informed, but whether we're thinking deeply about what we read, hear, and believe. Resistant reading is about intentionality and discernment, recognizing that no text exists in isolation. Each carries layers of history, politics, and ideology. Passive reading risks accepting narratives that serve others' interests, while critical reading reclaims agency, uncovering omissions, challenging assumptions, and questioning the forces shaping our worldview. For example, media often labels some groups as freedom fighters and others as terrorists, or justifies certain acts of violence as interventions, while condemning others as threats to stability. These discrepancies reflect power structures that amplify some narratives and suppress others. Controlling language shapes how history, justice, and legitimacy are framed. As an academic, I see firsthand how students struggle with these constructed realities. Many come into the classroom with firm opinions shaped by the media they consume, unaware of the ideological currents beneath the surface. Some students hesitate to question dominant narratives, fearing that skepticism equates to cynicism. But resistant reading is not about dismissing everything. It is about engaging with complexity, seeking nuance, and refusing to accept simplistic explanations. Resistant reading requires patience and asking simple, overlooked questions. Who benefits? What voices are missing? What history is erased? It's not about rejecting mainstream media or blindly trusting alternatives, but developing a habit of inquiry, spotting bias, and embracing uncertainty. This practice applies beyond media to literature, history, and daily conversations. Stories reflect their authors' biases and worldviews, not just universal truths. In an era where misinformation is weaponized, resistant reading is not just a skill, it is a form of empowerment. It is an assertion of agency over our understanding of truth. By reclaiming our ability to question, analyze, and interpret, we resist the forces that seek to control our perceptions. And in that resistance, we cultivate a more informed, just, and critically engaged society. Reclaiming Agency in an Age of Misinformation by Dr. Siti Nurnadilla Mohamad Jamil was originally published on www.sinardaily.my. Visit www.sinardaily.my for more bold and unfiltered opinions.